see everybody. Welcome. So good to be back on with you. Yes, as he said, my name is Michael Papa. If you're new to this experience or this group, welcome. It's so good to meet you. If you've been around and know me before, then yeah, you know a little bit of my story. I am currently a high school English teacher, but I lived in a religious community for a year. I spent time in Buddhist monasteries. I played football and rugby and coached football and rugby. And I bring all those different experiences, the physical wellness from my sports background, the spirituality and the prayer and meditation practices to bring in that mindfulness lens as well. And if you can't also tell by the book stack over here, I'm also an English teacher. So we incorporate some poetry that we'll get to later in the session as part of our practice today. And so I think about this as meditation and mobility. It's a gentle series of movements that we could ramp up the intensity on and get a good little workout in. And we're also doing sort of a meditation mindfulness practice throughout. So as I said, if you've been with us before, you sort of know our approach here. We're going to run a pretty similar session to my classic one that, as he said, we discovered together in the pandemic. I carry the lessons of these online Zoom classes and share mobility and movement and meditation with me every day. I do it when I'm at work sometimes, when I'm in the car, et cetera, et cetera. And so we have three sort of grounding principles here today for us, which are gentleness, mindfulness, and adaptability. So we're gentle throughout the session, okay? We're not putting in a huge, big weight session today, but we can get a good muscle workout. We're going to feel some good, healthy muscle soreness by the end. But we're thinking gentleness, easing into the motions, picking up intensity as we go, listening to our body in order to know when to push back past that gentle stage into something a little bit more intense. And we'll talk about that as we go. As I said, being aware, we're practicing mindfulness throughout. We're going to do a specific meditation practice at the end with a poem, as I mentioned. But all throughout, we're always listening to our body. We're paying attention. We're thinking about our posture. How are our muscles feeling? We're linking that mind-muscle connection up throughout the session. So if we're doing a little bit of a bicep curl, we're not just going through the motion, but we're feeling this muscle. We're thinking about squeezing it. We're paying attention, scanning the body all throughout the session, and especially being mindful of our posture all throughout. So I'm going to keep reminding you, come back to that good seated upright position. We'll lock into that in a few moments together. And our third sort of mindset to carry throughout is adaptability. I'm going to give you a series I'm going to give you a basic movement pattern that we're going to do. And then I'm going to give you a series of options about how you can adapt it to, as you're listening to your body, be a little bit more intense or a little bit less intense. So if the movement's feeling good, you're getting a good muscle pump, everything's working, hang out there, that's great. If your body's saying, hey, we could go a little further, we could squeeze a little harder, I'll give you some options to sort of play around with the movements. And I can't see you on your end of the screen, so you're figuring out, learning, listening to your body and what it wants and needs as we go. But the hope is to leave feeling good, energized, mobilized, focused, present for the day. And of course, throughout, we want to be drinking water, hot summer days around. So let's make sure we're hydrating throughout as well. And so we're going to have four basic sections. We're going to do a little warm up. We'll get our posture locked in. Then we're going to do a series of seated exercises and then a series of standing exercises in sort of a 2-to-1 work to rest ratio, the Tabata sort of method we've talked about, where you do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. Do that for 5 sets, and I'll talk you through that as we go. But let's start by sitting towards the front of our chair. We want our feet flat on the ground. We want a nice alert posture, upright, not uncomfortable, but we are sitting upright. Our core is engaged. Shoulders are down and back. Feet are flat on the floor. And we just start by breathing deeply in through our nose. We allow our stomach to expand on the in-breath. We hold that breath for a moment, and then we exhale out of our mouth. So I'm sitting towards the front of my chair, depending on your situation. Again, find something comfortable and engaged for you, but this allows me to sit upright and alert, and we continue breathing deeply in through our nose, allowing that stomach to expand on the in-breath, starting to dial in, tune into our body. Already with these deeper breaths, our heart's going to be engaged, our body's going to be engaged, the oxygen's going to start flowing. So just doing some good deep breaths on your own, nice and steady, nice and rhythmical. Hold for a second at the top. Exhale fully out of your mouth, and then the stomach compresses. So we expand our stomach on the in-breath. That's that good diaphragm breathing we like to think about. And we exhale fully out of the mouth. Continuing just to breathe in deeply. We're just getting warm up and focused on the day and allowing our body to start to ease into things. As you see me, I'm sort of starting just to wiggle and feel out my body a little bit, see how things are feeling this morning on a Saturday morning. And then always one of my favorite cues is that we can imagine that there's a gold string attached to the crown of our head, and that just sort of lifts us up a little bit. Not uncomfortable, not super formal or in pain from how much we're focusing on our posture, but just a nice locked in posture, shoulders down and back, head upright, nice and tall through our body. This is what we want to return to throughout all the movements we're about to do. We're going to be doing exercises, leg extensions, etc. In between, we're always coming back to this basic posture. So your breath's starting to go. I'm already starting to feel a little warm just from the deep breathing. And now we're going to start to do a few gentle movements just as a warm up. We'll flow through them together, and then we get into our more intense movements in a few moments. And so we're going to start off with just a little neck stretch. So just sitting upright. Again, that posture's locked in. You're going to drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. As I sit, I'm mindful, paying attention to my feet, my posture. Is everything locked in? Does everything feel good? And when I come over to the right, does that make my toe feel weird? Does that make my left hip feel weird? We're just paying attention to and learning our body. If that stretch feels good, just hang out here for a few moments with some deep breaths. If you're looking to adapt it and make it a little bit more intense, again, you're listening to your body. We could put our left arm, the opposite arm, out to the side here, hand open. We could also just play around with the shoulder here and the fingers, wiggle the fingers, make some nice wrist circles. But again, our posture's locked in, breathing is nice and deep. We're continuing those good deep breaths. And then we could always come up top. We're not going to yank our neck down, but we are going to pull gently away with our hand from that shoulder, from that arm. And now we get a nice full deep neck stretch. Posture's locked in, breathing is deep and comfortable. We've got smiles on our faces. Feeling nice and good this morning. Drop the arm a little bit lower, pick it up, feel that around, some circles. Explore the movement. And with a nice deep breath, let that go, come back to center. Then we're going to flow right into the left side. Left ear coming down to the left shoulder. Again, start off with this, scan the body. How are my feet feeling? How's my core feeling? How's my neck feeling today? Does this side feel different from the other side? We're just paying attention to these things. Continue breathing deeply and steadily. If we want to add another leg here, as I said, kick that right arm out to the right side. Posture still locked in, breathing steady, smile on my face. We're not getting too intense yet, just easing into the day, easing into the movements. We could turn that shoulder over, roll the wrist around, wiggle those fingers. And then last little adaptation here. Pull the left with the left arm, pulling away from the right shoulder, not yanking down, but pulling away. Nice and tall, length through everything. Breaths are nice and deep. And then we exhale and we come back to center. We wiggle things out, get loose in between, find that comfort again, and we lock back into posture. Always have a drink of water if you like, but we're going to flow into our next movement. Starting to pick up the intensity of the stretch. There's a sort of a building pattern to our whole day today, so stick along with me. We're going to do some half moon poses. Part of my vibe is I draw on Qigong, I draw on my athletic background, I draw on yoga. So we're going to do some sort of seated half moon pose here. So we're going to inhale our arms up overhead. We're going to come down to the right side. Biceps coming into the ears. Nice, sitting nice and tall. Not trying to get so deep into the stretch that we slump or fall over or compromise. We're nice and tall, and wherever the stretch begins for you today, that's good. We're breathing deeply in through our nose. As we inhale, we find our posture. Stomach expands, shoulders come down and back. And then as we exhale, we go a little bit deeper into the stretch. That's a good pattern to track all day. We inhale, we extend, we find our posture. Exhale, we go deeper into the stretch. We'll do one more breath together. Inhale through the nose, stomach expanding, lock into posture. Exhaling fully out of our mouth. Deeper into the stretch. And we inhale back up. Exhale, arms float down, flutter out to the side. Shake things out. We're going to go over to the other side now. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale out to the side. Finding that good posture. Biceps coming in towards the ears. Feet are flat on the ground. I'm not slumped forward to get a little more stretch. I'm honoring my posture and exploring the stretch more deeply as I go. Inhale through the mouth. Find that posture. Exhale, fully out of the mouth, a little bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale through the nose, expand the stomach, find your posture. Exhale fully out of the mouth. One more time together. Exhale fully out of the mouth, deeper into the stretch. Inhale your arms back up overhead. Exhale, float the arms out to the side. My shoulders are getting engaged. My breathing is deeper. I'm already cracking a little bit of the sweat. Hopefully you're starting to feel some of that on your end. But we're going to start to pick up more of the movement aspect of our warm-up. So drawing on the Qigong tradition here, we're going to do the crane stretches the swings. So I sit a little bit more towards the front of my chair, breathe my arms up overhead, out to the side. Nice flowy movement here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So just flow with that on your own for a little bit, nice and gentle, just exploring the movement. Play around with the wrists, the fingers. Inhale up overhead. Exhale as you come down. Let's do 3 more together. Good. Come back to center. Shake things out, wiggle things out, get comfortable, find your posture again, have a drink of water, all the good stuff all throughout. This is a gentle, engaging session. We want to leave feeling good. So make sure to take care of yourself along the way. And as we take care of ourselves, we like to pay attention to both our upper body and our lower body throughout our warm-ups and throughout our workout. So we're going to start to give the lower body a little bit of love and incorporate the upper body. Like up top, we're going to start off with a little bit of a passive stretch. So this is called the world's greatest stretch. We kick our left leg out. Heel's going to be flat on the floor, or heel's going to be on the floor. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to be exact. They don't have to be pointing perfectly vertical, but just pointing up. And we lean forward at the chest. My chest is still up and alert. My back is flat. I'm not slouched over to get a little more stretch. Got nice posture all throughout. Breathing steadily. Feeling connected to my body. And this is sort of just a hamstring stretch to start. If we want to add in that world's greatest stretch element, that's the name of the stretch, we can start to reach up overhead. It's a little bit taller movement. If you just want to start to look up overhead, that can be good. Reaching up, again, adapting to that intensity that you need as you go, but you don't need to push past where you feel comfortable at the moment. But if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, we're feeling through the hamstrings, through the calves, reaching up overhead. And again, you could always throw in a little uh, wrist roll here. Continuing to breathe in deeply. One more breath here. And exhale, coming back to center. Settle back in. Let's kick that right leg out. Just start by leaning forward at the waist, feeling the hamstring and the calf, getting a good stretch here. Heels on the floor, toes are pointing up. Breathing is deep, smiles on our faces. Again, always play around in the stretch. You can sort of roll your leg over here and see how that feels. And if you want that extra little element, we reach up overhead. Good posture still. Breathing deeply throughout. We don't stop our breathing in the stretch. The breathing is a part of the stretch. One more breath. And then exhale, coming back to center. Shake things out, wiggle things out. One more move here. We just want to get our lower body moving a little bit more. So we're just going to do some toe taps with each leg. We're going to tap out to the right side, out in front, out to the left. We'll do the right side, we'll do the left side. Just nice and gentle, just starting to feel our bodies. Got things moving a little bit. Nothing too strenuous yet. This is still our warm up. We'll start to work the muscle a little bit more intensely soon. But already, even with this, I'm starting to feel a little burn in my hip flexors. Quads getting warmed up. And there we go. Let's come over the left side. Out to the left, out in front, out to the right. Posture's locked in still, breathing steady. And let's pause there on one more. Good, great work. That's our warm up. So as I always say, if you're new, you'll hear it for the first time, but please use this material, use these sort of workouts I and we have developed together. I've built these workouts and experiences based on your feedback a lot. So if that warm up feels good, run it every day in the morning for a week. 10 minutes, work through those movements. You're gonna feel a lot better, good mobility, good flexibility. Let's grab a drink of water, and then I'll introduce our first round of the main part of the workout. And so as I alluded to at the top, we use this Tabata method, which is a 2-to-1 work to rest ratio, highly researched, very effective in terms of workouts. You can do it with jogging or sprinting or squats or push-ups or whatever. 2-to-1 work to rest ratio, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We're going to do 2 rounds in our chair of 5 exercises. Then we will move to standing, 2 rounds standing of our 5 exercises. I'll give you the time breakdowns. You just stick along with me. We're going to have 5 movements here. The first is, and I'll talk you through them as we go, bicep curl into overhead press. Okay, so we're imagining there's a weight in our hand. I'll talk you through that. We're going to do leg extensions alternating, and I'm going to give you some adaptations to make these harder as you go. We're going to do one of my favorites, bow and arrows. I do them all the time. Feels great on the back. Nice flowing movement. We're going to do clamshells, opening up the clamshell, pushing in with our big chest muscles. Again, I'm going to review all these. Just stick with me for now. And then we're going to do a reach over with a wide out. Okay, so we reach over the top, stretch through the lat, kick the leg out to the side. And those are our 5 movements, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. And so we will go in, just looking at my clock over here, linking us up on a good time schedule. Bicep curls into overhead press, beginning now. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We move through the movements. So again, with these exercises, we don't have weights in our hand. If you have a 2-pound weight, you can certainly hold on to those throughout or whatever you'd like. But we could also just use our mind, squeezing the bicep, picking up the intensity as we go, pushing up overhead, imagining we have a weight in our hand. It's going to get the muscles working for us. We've got 10 seconds left to go here. And pause. Nice movements there. In a few seconds, we're going to do leg extensions, getting a good squeeze in our quad. I'll give you a few good variations as we go, but if you're still getting warmed up, just listen to your body, ease into the movements. We'll pick up intensity as we go. So nice, good posture locked in. We begin leg extensions. Picking up, feeling a nice, good squeeze in our quad muscle. Posture's locked in. I'm breathing deeply. If you want to make this harder, you can find a good balance point and you could do 2 legs at once. That gets pretty hard, but you could also add in an overhead arm. Put your arms overhead and now do your 2 quad extensions. A little bit harder, but if you're still here, enjoying this, getting a good squeeze in your quad, we're going for 5 more seconds. That's fine by me. And pause. Good. That is our second exercise. Third is going to be bow and arrows. Imagine you're pulling and pushing at the same time. Let the bow and arrow go. Push out to the left side over here. Play around with the fingers and the wrist position. It's just a playful, nice flowy movement, but feel the back muscles. Feel the pull. In 3, 2, 1. Link it up with the breath. Going for 5 more seconds here. And pause. Good work there. Alternating between upper body and lower body movements. Broadly, I like to do just to keep things balanced. Next, we're going to do clamshells. Legs are coming together, feet are coming together a little bit more. We push against our shoulder muscles or chest muscles. So our chest muscles are pushing in, legs are opening up, my feet are rolling over, and I'm working the outside of the hip here. And we're going to go together. 3, 2, 1. So then I come back in, resist, resist, resist with the chest muscles. So I'm also getting a little upper body work here, pushing in with the chest. You could develop a good physique, a lot of muscle strength by just using your own body's muscles, working against one another. We'll go for 3, 2, 1. Good. And then we're going to do a reach over with a wide out. So we kick our left leg out, left arm coming up overhead. Nice posture, flowing with it. Good full body movement here to finish this up. Getting going in 3, 2, 1. Feel the back muscles, the shoulder muscles, core is engaged as we kick out. Legs getting some work. Heart rate's picking up. Hopefully you're breathing a little bit more heavy. Starting to crack a sweat maybe. Going for 3, 2, 1. Good. So that is our first set, our first round of 5 sets of our seated exercises here. We alternate generally from upper body to lower body. Again, if you like this set, if that feels good and engaging, run it this week a few times. Once a day, a couple times a week, whatever it might be. We're gonna run that once more again in just a few seconds. Good time to grab a quick drink of water. I'll cue you up when we're gonna start. You know the 5 exercises more now. I'm gonna pitch a few more adaptations at you. And as we go through, you can also start to dial in the mind muscle connection with a bit more intensity. So maybe if you're just going, just flowing with the movement here, now you really start to squeeze the bicep. When you extend down bottom, squeeze the tricep on the backside of the arm there. So you could use your mind to sort of develop a more intense muscle experience if that's what you're looking for today. Let's grab a sip of water and then we'll jump into our second seated set. Okay, we will get going. Just trying to cue us up at a good time on the clock over here. A few more seconds, take a few deep breaths. I'll count us in. We're going in 5 seconds. And we'll go 3, 2, 1. Bicep into overhead press. Bicep curl, overhead press. Tricep extension down at the bottom here. All the parts of the movement we could feel. Feel all those muscles working. You could also go alternating if that feels fun. A little bit different, a little bit more coordination perhaps. Also good. We're going for 10 more seconds. Again, you could be doing this double version here. You're exploring the movement, having some fun today. And we pause together and we rest for 20. Next up, we're doing leg extensions. Again, just sitting towards the front of the chair. That's getting plenty of work. Good squeeze in the quad. Really good for the quad muscles, really good for the leg muscles. We could do the double version. I have to sit back a little bit more in my chair. You have to sort of know your chair and how it works to do that. And then you can throw your arms up overhead if you're looking for something more challenging. And we'll be going in 3, 2, 1. Five more seconds here. And pause. Good. 2 exercises down, 3 more to go. We got bow and arrows. Again, feel the pull, feel the push, link the body up. Nice expansion. Exhale, inhale, exhale. And we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Look through your side over here, get the neck involved. Always working the neck mobility in some of these workouts. Go 3, 2, 1. Good. Nice work there. Loosen yourself up. Your clothes gets a little baggy. That's understandable. So you got to loosen things up, shake things out in between. Grab a drink of water. We've got clamshells coming up next. So I have to sort of move to the front of my chair a little bit. I'm always adjusting on my chair based on the exercise and just finding a good position for me. Push in with our big shoulder, chest muscles. Push out with those hips and leg muscles. In 3, 2, 1. Going for 5 here. 3, 2, 1. Good work. One more movement. Got the reach over with the wide out. A little bit more of a flow to this one. Hopefully the heart rate picks up, the breath picks up, the body's starting to sweat a little bit. Those are all good signs that we're engaged and we're doing good things for our body. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1. 5 more. And pause. Good. That is our second seated set. We've done a warm up. We've done one round of seated exercises, learned those, got a little more intense in the second set. We peak over the course of this workout and we back off with a mindfulness experience at the end. So we are going to transition now to a standing position. And I'm going to adjust my camera. If on your end you want to stay seated, you can rerun those exercises. You could do similar exercises to what I'm going to show up. You listen to your body on your end of the screen, do something that feels good for you. But if you're ready to stand, we'll stand up with a good posture, come up to a standing position. I'm going to adjust my camera so we can see me a little bit more there. And all throughout as we do these, you can keep your chair near you. Let me just do a little camera adjust here. First time in this room. Thank you for sticking with me. You can have your chair close by, so it's always there for balance. It's there for support if you need it. I will be moving it around so you could see me doing the movements, etc., etc. But keep that chair close by. If you need to just take a breath for a moment, need some support, need some stability, good to always have that close by. We're going to do 2 rounds of standing exercises, 5 exercises, 40 seconds work, 20 seconds of rest. You know the deal. We're going to start off with simple marches. We're going to do a Qigong movement separating heaven and earth. We're going to do a movement called rock the boat, which is going to work our calves and our balance. We're going to do something called stir the pot. And then we're going to do a balance hold. So we're going to stand up, pick one leg up off the ground, and hold that for the 40 seconds. And those are our standing exercises. So let's jump in 10 seconds to getting a good march. Pick the legs up nice and high. Arms coming up nice and high, good symmetrical opposite arm with opposite leg. And we'll work that for 3 and 3, 2, 1. So just showing you from the side here, trying to get to those nice 90 angles. Go for 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause, deep breath, grab some water if you need it. As always, next movement is going to be separating heaven and earth. We get into a little broken knee, sort of crouch stance here. We push up with one arm, we push down with one arm. Qigong movement. It's not about extending or straightening the arms. Actually, it's about lengthening through the spine. So use this movement to lengthen through your spine. We'll jump into that together in 3, 2, 1. So it's nice and slow. Feel the energy, feel the chi. You feel your muscles flow with it. One arm is pushing up, one arm is pushing down. We're not getting to full extension. We're extending and lengthening through the spine. This is both an arm movement, but it is also a spine movement. And we'll go for 3, 2, 1. Good. Now your chair is definitely going to be helpful on this next movement. So imagine or have it in front of you, but I'm going to move it aside so I can show you what we're doing. We're going to do rock the boat, which is You control the intensity of the movement here. We're coming up over to one side, up on our toes. So working through the calf muscles. And then we could get as into it as we want it to be. So we'll jump into that in 3, 2, 1. So again, you could keep both feet on the floor. You could start to pick one foot up off the floor, but we're working those calves. You could do more of a controlled hold. That'll challenge your balance, challenge your muscles. But we're just imagining we're on a rocky boat, so this is good for balance, calf, muscle strength, and health is incredibly important for overall health. So we find our balance. It's good for the cardiovascular system. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. That's our third movement. Next up is going to be stir the pot. We're going to get into this 3/4 crouch, what some people call a horse stance, like you're riding a horse. So we crouch down a little bit, get the legs engaged, and then we're going to work. Let's go clockwise together this time. So just imagine you're stirring a big, heavy pot. Feel the shoulders, feel the arms, feel the back, feel the core. Really imagine you're working against something difficult. Get the core involved. Let's go for that in 3, 2, 1. Come in tight, do tighter circles. Those feel different. Go out wide, do wider circles. Feel the back muscles. We're going to stick clockwise the whole time. We'll do counterclockwise next time. We'll go for 3, 2, 1. Good. If you bring that mind muscle connection into the picture here, you could dial up the intensity. That exercise can feel really good. Good for the core, good for the shoulders, good for everything. Lastly, we're going to use our chair again. Have that in front of you. Be off to the side a little bit. We're going to do a balance hold. And you got options here. If all you could do is that, if balance is tough for you, and you could just pick it up off the floor, that's fine. If that's more comfortable, a little harder to pick it up in front, a little harder to get to 90-90. And I'll talk you through some other variations beyond that as we go. And so you got your chair with you. We're jumping in 3, 2, 1. We did clockwise on the stir of the pot. We're doing our left leg up. Posture's good. Have the chair there for support. Trying to get to 90-90. Foot's flat. Breathing deeply throughout. We're going to hold for the 40 seconds. Another challenge might be to close your eyes. If you feel safe, if you're in a good spot in your house or wherever you are, you got your chair, closing your eyes will just make that a little bit more hard. We're going for 10 more seconds. And pause. Good. Let's grab a drink of water. We want to stay hydrated throughout. We'll come back in just a few seconds with our 5 exercises. We're going to do some marches, separating heaven and earth. We're going to rock the boat. We're going to stir the pot in the counterclockwise direction. We're going to do a balance hold with our right leg up. I'll be on the right side of the chair for me here. So again, have your chair in front of you for support balance. I move it aside so you can see me, and we will jump into marches. Let's go 10 seconds here. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1. 10 more seconds. And pause. Good work there. 20 seconds of rest. We got a little slight crouch here. We're going to go in a few seconds, separating heaven and earth, pushing up and pushing down, lengthening through the spine. Use this movement to dial your mind into your spine and getting nice and tall through that spine. In 3, 2, 1. Play around with the movement, explore it. We want to feel the back, feel the arms, feel the spine, feel the core. 10 more seconds. And pause. Wonderful there. 3 more movements. We're doing rock the boat. Definitely use that chair. We're going side to side. Use the chair for balance in front of you and support. You can intensify the movement, as I said, by coming up more onto one side. Hold for a second. Control the calf raise. But if this feels good to you right now, that's a good spot to be as well. We'll get going together right now. And make sure to feel those calf muscles working. 10 more seconds. And pause. Good. 2 more movements, stir the pot. We're going counterclockwise this time. I remembered I had to say those out loud. We went clockwise the first time, so we go counterclockwise, and then we will do a balance on the right leg. We'll go going the counterclockwise, stir the pot in 3, 2, 1. So again, imagine you're really working against something. It's not just going through the motion, although that could be fine as well. Just some nice circles could feel good, but as you get warmed up and feel good, you turn on those muscles a bit more with your mind. It's going to make this a more intense workout. Tight circles feel a little different. We'll go for 3, 2, 1. Good. And so now to support me as I try to increase my balance, I stand on the right side of my chair. We're trying to get to 90-90. But again, if this is all you could do today, and that's balance for you, that's good. If we could get it up to that 90-degree angle, good. If we could get it in front, even better. Up to 90, even better. You build depending on where you are, and you'll grow over time. And so we'll jump into that in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you an honest 40 seconds here. You've got your chair if you need it. You're balancing, you're breathing, you're settled. If you're looking for another step up, it's a real challenge, but you could close your eyes. If you close your eyes and also have your arms crossed, that's a different challenge. But just make sure you got something there to support you. We're almost 30 seconds here. Honest, 10 more seconds. Hold, push to the end. This is our last movement. We're going to do our meditation after this. And finish. Good, good, good work there. I'm going to bring my chair up to the screen and my notebook and my phone so I can keep an eye on the time. And we are all set. I tilt the screen up a little bit for us, but I don't want to get the lights too in the screen. So I think this is a good spot. Thank you for being in my new space here. First time coming to you for this class from this space. So I'm excited to share it with you. And so we just had a great workout. I'm breathing a little bit more heavily. I got a little sweat going, glistening. The muscles feel good, the blood's flowing, everything's engaged. That's a good spot to be in. That's really good and healthy for the body. We don't need to beat our body up. Many days we just want to engage it, get the muscles feeling good and filled with all those good nutrients. And then this is a great time to take a step back and to do some mindfulness. I love the nice mix of movements and feelings that we've developed here in this class together since the pandemic. Some good muscle involvement, some good flowy yoga, qigong type movements, good meditation experience at the end. It's really a winner. And so I share with you different kinds of meditation styles, practices that I've done in my life. As I said, I lived in a religious community. I spent time in Buddhist monasteries, Christian monasteries, and I just love a basic meditation practice or mindfulness practice as well. I have a deep appreciation for all of it, and wherever you're coming from in your own spiritual background or not, whatever that means for you today. But this is sort of I said I'm an English teacher before. You could see all my books over there. And so I like to bring a poem into a meditation mindfulness experience. And so this is sort of a mantra mindfulness experience, a mantra coming out of sort of the Hindu tradition, the repetition of a sacred word. But it's a very common practice in Judeo-Christian or Islamic backgrounds. In the Christian background, a prayer called centering prayer involves the repetition of a sacred word. I've been watching a lot of the movies of David Lynch recently, an interesting filmmaker. Tread lightly if you know his work or don't know his work. Tread lightly if you want to get into it. But he was a practitioner of something called transcendental meditation, which is an interesting worldwide phenomenon. I think the Beatles did it for a little bit, stuff like that. A lot of interesting stories there. But that involves the repetition of a sacred word as well. So it's a really common practice. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk us through a little breathing meditation for a few moments. We're just going to settle the body, let things come down, relax. I'll talk you just through a basic breathing practice. Then I'm going to read the poem once. I'm going to read it a second time. On the second time, you're going to listen for a word or a short phrase that calls out to you. Then I'm going to give you about 8 minutes to repeat that word or phrase gently to yourself as you breathe, one time on the in breath, one time on the out breath. And then at the end, I'll read the poem once more to wrap us up. So this is a way to dive deeply into a poem, to grab a little bit of a word or phrase that could be an anchor for you today or all week or all month or all year. And it's a beautiful practice rooted in that mantra tradition, centering prayer, transcendental meditation, repetition of a sacred word, very common spiritual practice. We'll try it together today. And so I invite you to sit in your chair, feet are flat on the floor. Posture's engaged, but not uncomfortable. Breathing deeply. A gentle smile on our face, maybe your eyes could be closed or looking at a point on the floor somewhere in front of you. Oh, and sorry, one more reminder. I've also dropped this poem in the chat. So this is When I Am Among the Trees by Mary Oliver. And let me just drop that again so you could see it. Sorry to interrupt the vibe, but there I posted again. So you could just listen to me. You can pull up the website or you could look at the text in the chat, whatever feels comfortable for you on your end today. And we got started a little bit later, so I'm planning on going till 10 or 12 minutes past the hour. And certainly you could revisit this practice online. I think Z and everybody post these videos at some point. So now we'll get into meditation. Thank you. We'll begin by having our feet on the floor. Posture's engaged, but not uncomfortable. We're breathing deeply in through our nose, allowing our stomach to expand on the in-breath. Holding that breath for a moment, and exhaling fully out of the mouth. Breathe in peace and calm and relaxation. Breathe out fear, worry, and anxiety. And so I'm going to begin by reading When I Am Among the Trees by Mary Oliver, a great contemplative poet, a great mindfulness poet. And so just listen for the content of the poem this time. Just hear the words, let it flow over you. And then I'll read it again. And then you'll listen for a word or phrase that calls out to you, shimmers, feels interesting in some way. And then we'll mantra prayer with that for a few minutes on our own. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. So we'll read the poem once more, and this time listen for a word or a phrase. We generally get encouraged to try to keep it short. You don't want a super long line, but whatever happens for you today is fine. And then we're going to take that and repeat that gently to ourselves for a few minutes, aligned with our breath. And that's basically a mantra meditation or centering prayer or whatever you prefer to call it. So listen for a word or phrase. Don't be overly cognitive with it. Just hear something, hold on to it. It's a little anchor for a few moments here. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. And so, whatever word or phrase jumped out to you, take that. And for a few minutes, 6 or 8 minutes here, we'll give it a little sample, and you can do it for more extended times yourself. Just repeat that phrase or that word with your breath, 1 or 2 times on the in breath, 1 or 2 times on the out breath, whatever makes sense. And use that as an anchor, and if any distracting thought or worry or anxiety comes in, if some thought about the past or about the future comes in, you use that word or phrase as an anchor, you return to it, and you ground yourself in the poem, in the moment, in the word, in the phrase. And so I'll let you go on your own for a few moments, and I'll call us back together with one more reading of the poem. Keep breathing deeply and just use that word as an anchor. And you can slowly begin to start returning to full awareness in your space, in your body. Gently open your eyes. Continue to breathe in deeply and breathe out fully. Our breath practice today has been linked with our warm-up, linked with our exercises, linked with our poem, linked with our meditation. And that is a little bit of an experience of something like a mantra or a mindfulness prayer or mantra meditation or a mindfulness prayer like centering prayer or any of those traditions really. And so we get given or grab or listen for or repeat some sort of word or phrase that grounds us. It's like an anchor. The world could be like a stormy sea, and this is an anchor. It holds us in place. It's something to root our mind in when it could feel stormy and cloudy and chaotic. It's a center point. It's a rock that you can stand on. And so take that word or phrase with you. Do this for 10 minutes. Do this for 20 minutes. Do this for 30 minutes. Do it once a day, twice a day. Carry this word or phrase with you for a week. Find a new one. Use this for the rest of your life. Explore the practice. Find those practices that work for you to help you feel centered, fully in your body, engaged in the world, comfortable, and ready to push yourself into new, harder things as we did today with some more intense movements. We're feeling good. It's always such a gift to be with you all, to share a little bit of exercise, a little bit of movement, a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of language with you all. And I love to reconnect, and I'm always happy to be back again.